A fiscal year is a period used for calculating annual financial statements in businesses and other organizations all over the world. In many jurisdictions, regulatory laws regarding accounting and taxation require such reports once per 12 months, but do not require that the period reported on constitutes a calendar year. Fiscal years vary between businesses and countries. The fiscal year may also refer to the year used for income tax reporting. Some companies choose to end their fiscal year such that it ends on the same day of the week each year, e.g., the day that's closest to a particular date. Under such a system, some fiscal years will have 52 weeks and others 53 weeks. A major corporation that has adopted this approach is Cisco Systems. Nevertheless, the fiscal year is identical to the calendar year for about 65% of publicly traded companies in the United States and for a majority of large corporations in the UK and elsewhere. Many universities have a fiscal year which ends during the summer, both to align the fiscal year with the school year, and because the school is normally less busy during the summer months. In the Northern Hemisphere this is July in one year to June in the next year. In the Southern Hemisphere this is January to December of a single calendar year. Some media, communication-based organizations use a broadcast calendar as the basis for their fiscal year. The NFL uses the term league year, which in effect forms the league's fiscal year. By rule, the fiscal year begins at 4 p.m. EDT on the 10th of March of each calendar year. All financial reports are based on each fiscal year. However, the fiscal year is denoted in the NFL by the year where it starts, not where it ends, unlike most designations. The fiscal year is denoted by the year in which it ends, so United States of America federal government spending incurred on the 14th of November 2016 would belong to fiscal year 2017, operating on a fiscal calendar of October-September. Operation in various countries, region. In some jurisdictions, particularly those that permit tax consolidation, companies that are part of a group of businesses must use nearly the same fiscal year, with consolidating entries to adjust for transactions between units with different fiscal years, so the same resources will not be counted more than once or not at all. Afghanistan. In Afghanistan, the fiscal year was recently changed from 1 Hummel 29 Hu to 1 Jadi 30 Qaus. The fiscal year runs with the Afghan calendar, thus resulting in difference of the Gregorian dates once in a 4-year span. Australia. In Australia, the fiscal year, or, more commonly, financial year, starts on the 1st of July and ends on the 30th of June. For personal income tax after the financial year ends, individuals have until the 31st of October to lodge their return. This fiscal year definition is used both for official purposes and by the overwhelming majority of private enterprises, but this is not legally mandated. A company may, for example, opt for a financial year that always ends at the end of a week, or opt for each financial year to end on a different date to match the reporting cycles of its foreign parent. Austria. In Austria, the fiscal year starts on the 1st of January and ends on the 31st of December. Bangladesh. In Bangladesh, the fiscal year starts on the 1st of July and ends on the 30th of June. Belarus. In Belarus, the fiscal year starts on the 1st of January and ends on the 31st of December. Brazil. In Brazil, the fiscal year starts on the 1st of January and ends on the 31st of December. Citizens pay income tax starting in May, but the form filling goes from March to April. All tax declarations must be done online using government-written free software. Bulgaria. In Bulgaria, the fiscal year matches the calendar year both for personal income tax and for corporate taxes. Canada. In Canada, the government's financial year runs from the 1st of April to the 31st of March. For individuals in Canada, the fiscal year runs from the 1st of January to the 31st of December. China, the fiscal year for all entities starts on the 1st of January and ends the 31st of December, consistent with the calendar year, to match the tax year, statutory year, and planning year. Colombia, in Colombia, the fiscal year starts the 1st of January ending on the 31st of December. Yearly taxes are due in the middle of March, April for corporations, while citizens pay income tax starting in August, ending in September, according to the last two digits of the national ID. Costa Rica, the fiscal year in Costa Rica spans from the 1st of October until the 30th of September. Taxpayers are required to pay the tributes before the 15th of December of each year. Egypt, in the Arab Republic of Egypt, the fiscal year starts on the 1st of July and concludes on the 30th of June. France, the fiscal year matches the calendar year, and has since at least 1911. Hong Kong, in Hong Kong, the government's financial year runs from the 1st of April to the 31st of March. India, in India, the government's financial year runs from the 1st of April to the 31st of March midnight. Example: the 1st of April 2015 to the 31st of March 2016 for the financial year 2015-2016. It is also abbreviated as FY16. Companies following the Indian Depositary Receipt are given freedom to choose their financial year. For example, Standard Chartered's IDR follows the UK calendar despite being listed in India. Companies following Indian fiscal year get to know their economical health on the 31st of March of every Indian financial or fiscal year. Iran, in Iran, the fiscal year starts usually on March 21st and concludes on next year's March 20th in Solar Hijri calendar. Ireland used the year ending 5 April until 2001 when it was changed, at the request of Finance Minister Charlie McCreevy, to match the calendar year. Since 2002, it is aligned with the calendar year, the 1st of January to the 31st of December. Italy, in Italy, the fiscal year was from the 1st of July to the 30th of June until 1965. Now it is from the 1st of January until the 31st of December. Japan, in Japan, the government's financial year runs from the 1st of April to the 31st of March. The fiscal year is represented by the calendar year in which the period begins, followed by the word nendo. For example, the fiscal year from the 1st of April 2015 to the 31st of March 2016 is called 2015 nendo. Japan's income tax year runs from the 1st of January to the 31st of December, but corporate tax is charged according to the corporation's own annual period. Mexico, in Mexico, the fiscal year is the same as the calendar year. Myanmar, Burma, in Myanmar, the fiscal year goes from the 1st of April to the 31st of March. New Zealand, the New Zealand government's fiscal and financial reporting year begins on the 1st of July and concludes on the 30th of June of the following year and applies to the budget. The company and personal financial year begins on the 1st of April and finishes on the 31st of March and applies to company and personal income tax. Pakistan, the Pakistan government's fiscal year starts on the 1st of July of the previous calendar year and concludes on the 30th of June. Private companies are free to observe their own accounting year, which may not be the same as government of Pakistan's fiscal year. Russia, the fiscal year matches the calendar year, and has since at least 1911. Singapore, the fiscal year for the calculation of personal income taxes runs from the 1st of January to the 31st of December. The fiscal year for the government of Singapore and many government-linked corporations runs from the 1st of April to the 31st of March. Corporations and organizations are permitted to select any date to mark the end of each fiscal year, as long as this date remains constant. South Africa, in South Africa, the fiscal year for the government of South Africa starts on the 1st of April and ends the 31st of March. The year of assessment for individuals covers 12 months, beginning on the 1st of March and ending on the final day of February the following year. The Act also provides for certain classes of taxpayers to have a year of assessment ending on a day other than the last day of February. Companies are permitted to have a tax year ending on a date that coincides with their financial year. Many older companies still use a tax year that runs from the 1st of July to the 30th of June, inherited from the British system. A common practice for newer companies is to run their tax year from the 1st of March to the final day of February following, to synchronize with the tax year for individuals. South Korea. In South Korea, the fiscal year starts on the 1st of January and ends the 31st of December. Spain. In Spain, the fiscal year starts on the 1st of January and ends the 31st of December. Sweden. The fiscal year for individuals runs from the 1st of January to the 31st of December. The fiscal year for an organization is typically one of the following: the 1st of January to the 31st of December, the 1st of May to the 30th of April, the 1st of July to the 30th of June, the 1st of September to the 31st of August. However, all calendar months are allowed. If an organization wishes to change into a non-calendar year, permission from the tax authority is required. Taiwan. Under the Income Tax Act of Taiwan, the fiscal year commences on the 1st of January and ends on the 31st of December of each calendar year. However, an enterprise may elect to adopt a special fiscal year at the time it is established and can request approval from the tax authorities to change its fiscal year. Thailand. The Thai government's fiscal year begins on the 1st of October and ends on the 30th of September of the following year. FY 2015 dates from the 1st of October 2014 to 20 September 2015. The Thai government's year for individual income tax is the calendar year. Ukraine. In Ukraine, the fiscal year matches with the calendar year, which starts on January 1st and ends December 31st. United Arab Emirates. In the United Arab Emirates, the fiscal year starts on the 1st of January and ends the 31st of December. United Kingdom. In the United Kingdom, the financial year runs from the 1st of April to the 31st of March for the purposes of corporation tax and government financial statements. For the self-employed and others who pay personal tax, the fiscal year starts on the 6th of April and ends on the 5th of April of the next calendar year. Although United Kingdom corporation tax is charged by reference to the government's financial year, companies can adopt any year as their accounting year. If there is a change in tax rate, the taxable profit is apportioned to financial years on a time basis. A number of major corporations that were once government-owned, such as BT Group and the National Grid, continue to use the government's financial year, which ends on the last day of March, as they have found no reason to change since privatization. The 5th of April year-end for personal tax and benefits reflects the old ecclesiastical calendar, with New Year falling on the 25th of March. The difference being accounted for by the 11 days missed out when Great Britain converted from the Julian calendar to the Gregorian calendar in 1752 of the Calendar Act 1750. The 1752-3 tax year was extended by 11 days. From 1753 until 1799, the tax year in Great Britain began on the 5th of April, which was the old-style New Year of the 25th of March. A 12th skipped Gregorian leap day in 1800 changed its start to the 6th of April. It was not changed when a 13th Julian leap day was skipped in 1900, so the start of the personal tax year in the United Kingdom is still the 6th of April. United States federal government. The United States federal government's fiscal year is the 12-month period ending on the 30th of September of that year. having begun on the 1st of October of the previous calendar year. In particular, the identification of a fiscal year as the calendar year in which it ends, thus, the current fiscal year as 2016, often written as FY 2016 or FY 16, which began on the 1st of October 2015 and which will end on the 30th of September 2016. Prior to 1976, the fiscal year began on the 1st of July and ended on the 30th of June. The Congressional Budget and Impoundment Control Act of 1974 made the change to allow Congress more time to arrive at a budget each year, and provided for what is known as the transmissional quarter, from the 1st of July 1976 to the 30th of September 1976. An earlier shift in the federal government's fiscal year was made in 1843, shifting the fiscal year from a calendar year to one starting on the 1st of July. For example, the United States government fiscal year for 2016 is first quarter, the 1st of October 2015 to 31 December 2015. Second quarter, the 1st of January 2016 to 31 March 2016. Third quarter, the 1st of April 2016 to 30 June 2016. Fourth quarter, the 1st of July 2016 to 30 September 2016. State governments set their own fiscal year. It may or may not align with the federal calendar. For example, in California, the state's fiscal year runs from July 1 to June 30 each year. Businesses and organizations. The tax year for a business is governed by the fiscal year it chooses. A business may choose any consistent fiscal year that it wants. However, for seasonal businesses such as farming and retail, a good account practice is to end the fiscal year shortly after the highest revenue time of year. Consequently, most large agriculture companies end their fiscal years after the harvest season, and most retailers end their fiscal years shortly after the Christmas shopping season. Chart of various fiscal years. Tax year. The fiscal year for individuals and entities to report and pay income taxes is often known as the taxpayer's tax year or taxable year. Taxpayers in many jurisdictions may choose their tax year. In federal countries, state, provincial, cantonal tax years must be the same as the federal year. Nearly all jurisdictions require that the tax year be 12 months or 52/53 weeks. However, short years are permitted as the first year or when changing tax years. Most countries require all individuals to pay income tax based on the calendar year. Significant exceptions include United Kingdom. Individuals pay tax on a year ending the 5th of April. This is due to Britain historically having a calendar year starting on the 25th of March in the Julian calendar, which translates to the 6th of April in the Gregorian calendar. United States. Individuals may elect any tax year, subject to IRS approval. Many jurisdictions require that the tax year conform to the taxpayer's fiscal year for financial reporting. The United States is a notable exception. Taxpayers may choose any tax year, but must keep books and records for such year.